is wholesaling the first thing that you tell people to get into, or is it talk to people, talk to a homeowner, distress situation needs to sell, and then figure out the exit strategy? Or is it like learn wholesale?
Wholesale.
Okay.
I think for the first 12 months in real estate, you should do nothing but wholesale. I really do.
Yeah.
If you have a license or don't have a license, I really do. I would, if you had me speak to all of your agents here, I would tell them to wholesale their first year 100%.
Wow.
Because all of them don't want to be real estate agents; they want to be investors. They want to own rental properties. They want to have passive income. I don't think anybody's like, you know what? I want to, I want the award for being the greatest real estate agent for the next 10 years. Maybe there is. Maybe
There's
I'm
a handful of people.
Maybe I'm being cynical.
in the luxury game.
Sure.
Maybe in the luxury
sure.
game. Yeah.
But I mean, for most people,
Yep.
They
property.
don't want the grind every day of interviewing for the job of selling somebody's house
agree.
and showing them houses.
I agree
So
with you.
I would tell them to go out, find as many ugly properties as possible. Here's how you filter. Here's PropStream that you can go into and find all of the distress, the people that have liens and pre-foreclosures and they're tired landlords and their vacant properties, and go out and find all of the ugly properties that you can find and call up the homeowner and see if they would consider an offer on their property.
Yeah.
That's how it started out. And then that's the foundation that you build, and then you can do whatever you want. You could fix and flip, you can develop, you can add to your rental portfolio, all those things. The problem is, Austin, there are so many different strategies in real estate, and everybody goes, oh, that looks easy. Oh, that looks fun. Oh, that looks easy. Oh, that person's making a fortune over there. I got to try this and this and this. And they don't go anywhere.
They don't do anything. Yeah. They've got shiny toilet syndrome or shiny object syndrome or whatever it might be, right?
Yep.
I couldn't agree more. Do you believe that people need to be a part of a community? Because I think I see a lot of people, and you see this more than I do, owning the coaching company and the mentorship and all that, but like people that they understand like maybe how to do the first couple things. Like they could potentially go call people and get a property under contract, maybe.
Yep.
But then they're just like a deer in the headlights. Like they don't know what to do now. Like who do I sell it to, or where do I open escrow, or like what do they need to be a part of a community? How often do you see somebody that's just on the island go complete a wholesale deal on their own? Yeah.
Somebody always has somebody else that knows the process. You know what I mean? Yeah. And sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean another investor or a mentor or a coach. Sometimes it's the title company. Sometimes it's the escrow officer. Sometimes around the country they have closing attorneys, and they go, "Okay, you got this deal. I actually have a buyer for this. Is that what you're trying to do? Yeah. Okay, great. Do you mind if we max it?" Sometimes it's the hard money lender. How many hard money lenders in our town also wholesale?
Oh my gosh.
All of them.
A lot, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just finding somebody that already is a few steps ahead of you to pull you through your first deal and to pull you through your first year. And then all of a sudden you're building that momentum and that confidence, and you understand the process and you have the skills, and then you're set, and then you're running. Yeah. But a lot of people just don't know what to do that first 90 days. People don't know what to do that first 30 days. You know what I mean? And you tell them, oh, you got to do this, and you got to build your center of influence, and you got to, reach out for referrals, and you got to do this and that. Find an ugly house.
Yeah.
Go talk to the property owner. Worst case, you list it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Worst case.
Yep.
You list the property. You know what I mean? So I think that there's so much opportunity for anybody that understands how powerful the phone is.
I completely agree. I think the phone is the most powerful. I think human beings, right? When I think of, I preach it in a lot of my meetings. I'm like, show me an industry where talking to people is not like relevant. I mean, like coding. I mean, like being a dentist, but then because I was going to get veneers one time. I didn't end up doing it. And who did I go to? I went to the guy that was verified on Instagram.
Right.
He's talking to the most people, right? He's a marketer. The dentist is a marketer, right? Why would I use you over you? Well, this guy's a better marketer. I think he's a better dentist, right?
He's louder.
He's louder. Mm-hmm. So I think no matter what it is, right? It's in order to do anything in this world, there has to be a transaction between two human beings.
Yep.
So if there's going to be a transaction between the two human beings, that means I have to talk to that human being in order for that to happen, right? And people are so afraid of that, it just blows me away.
We don't have a product.
Right.
We don't.
No.
I mean, we don't have a product. I mean, unless we own the house, unless we're flipping a house, then we have inventory, right? But if we're an agent or we're just getting started out in real estate and we don't have this flip that we're going to do, All we have is our voice. That's it.
That's it.
Whether that's through text, whether that's through talking to somebody, whether that's meeting them face to face, knee to knee, belly to belly, that's what we have. So if that's what we have, why wouldn't we develop that to the highest possible level?
Yeah.
And the people that do make all the money. That's it.
I agree.
There's so many. I mean, I've been in real estate and real estate brokerages for a long time. There's so many people that just want to play in the computer. And I was like, I would rip out every computer there is and just like give people their phones. Yeah. If you want to find a deal on Zillow or if you want to find whatever, just use your phone and go. You know what I mean?
I do. A lot of people right now are saying that wholesaling is extremely difficult, right? I hear it every day right now. The last 4 or 5 months, whatever it's been. I see a lot of people going novation, going seller finance, going subject to, right?
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people getting out. I mean, just straight up. Like I see a lot of people just getting out of the industry. I mean, we have people in this office that not very long ago were running their own operation, right? Yep. And they're here now because they saw, the power of the community and the culture and the environment, because they were on an island doing it themselves, doing 2 deals a month, and those 2 deals are now gone. Anyways, what are your thoughts at 2023 wholesaling? Should people go more creative? Like, should they learn that game, or should they double down on wholesale?
Well, I mean, you can wholesale creative.
Sure.
So the more,
but you got to know the language, though. You got to know how to.
You could be taught that in an hour.
Sure.
I mean, that you don't have to do too many crazy things to be able to communicate. If people own properties free and clear, it's different if you're getting into like a subject to, or you're getting into a wrap or something like that. But if people own properties free and clear, you just ask them if I could get you that price, but it's going to have to be in payments. You open to that. Yes. Okay, great. Here you go. Right?
Simple as that,
It's as simple as that. I mean, we do it every week. So, one word, skills. That's it.
Wow.
The people that didn't have the skills before could sell deals because every deal sold.
Right.
Every deal sold.
Yeah.
You didn't have to have skills. You didn't have to be consistent. You could sell a deal, make $30,000, take a month off, and then just pick back up again, do another one, and make $40,000. And all of a sudden, you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is the gravy train. I've figured it all out." You need skills. You need the skills of understanding how to filter out the distressed properties. There's 143 million residential properties, right? I'm not even talking about vacant land. I'm not even talking about multifamily. I'm talking about just houses and townhouses and that in the U.S., right? And 6 to 10% of that, statistically speaking, from the U.S. Census, is in distress at all times.
Wow.
Whether that be that they be vacant, whether that be that they're dated, whether that be that they're going through foreclosure, whether it be a lien, whether it be whatever else, they're in distress. It could be emotional distress. It could be financial distress. It could be the distress of the property, the condition, right?
Sure.
So if 6 to 10%, that means that there's upwards to 14 million opportunities that we have every single year, loaded up every single year. There's not 14 million people wholesaling.
Agreed.
I don't even know if there's a million. I don't even know if there's 100,000 people wholesaling.
I would be surprised if there was. Yeah, because all you got to do is look at the view count of the top wholesale guys. Like, you get a lot of views.
Yeah.
But how many of those views are the same views?
Right.
Right. So, like, I bet there's probably 100,000, but not more than that, I don't think.
Right.
I don't think there's like millions of wholesalers.
Right.
By any means. I mean, there might be millions of people who would like to get into the industry.
Sure.
But how many people in the world have ever done a wholesale deal?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, not a ton.
Right.
Right.
But wholesale, the interesting thing is wholesale's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
I just read the 20th anniversary of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he started breaking down some of the deals he did early on, like in the 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s, right? He went to, in 1993, he went to, right, Daniel, 93? Yeah. He went to a seminar on no money down, put together some deals. And then he talks about a deal he did in Phoenix on a multifamily, and dude paid him $50,000 to take over his contract.
Wow.
To replace his interest in the contract. That's wholesaling.
Paid him $50,000, yeah. Uh-huh.
That was in 1993,
yeah,
homie.
It's just contract law, right?
Yeah,
I've done a deal on a napkin before and open escrow, you know. So
but I think, so to answer your questions and put a bow on this thing, I think that it is an incredible time if you're willing to build the skills. And it's going to start with understanding with the cash buyers want. And for the first time in a long time, because a lot of people got into the industry the last 3 years, you could abuse buyers. But you didn't really understand that the buyers hold all the power. I don't care if it's this microphone. I don't care if it's the camera. I don't care if it's a house, a car, a toothbrush, right? The buyers determine value.
Sure.
If this thing was $100,000, you would not buy it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the buyers determine the value of it. That's
What they're
all.
willing
That's
to pay.
economics. That's it. So the buyers are the ones you have to go to now, and you have to say, what are you looking for? How can I serve you?
Yep.
Before it was like, here you go, cash
Right.
buyer. You guys fight for it like a bone and a bunch of dogs going after it.
I
You know
agree.
what I mean? Now they're like, now you have to actually have customer service. Now you actually have to communicate with them. Now you actually have to find out what they're looking for and find them real deals.
Yeah, I agree, and I
That's
think
the difference.
And that's almost like to a degree like reverse wholesaling, right? Which is, hey, I'm gonna start with the buyer criteria, and then I'm gonna source the deal for the buyer. Whereas I think the last 3 years it was, I'm gonna lock up anything I think is a deal, and I'm just gonna throw it out there, and somebody will buy it.
How about hedge funds?
Right.
Come on.
100%.
Made a fortune on hedge funds.
Everybody did.
Then,
Anybody that was taking
Right.
advantage of it, yeah, for sure. And now they're gone. I mean, there's one or two that are buying at a fraction of what they were, but the
Fraction.
majority of them are gone.
Yeah.
Right. And do you think they'll come back?
100%.
Yeah, just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when do you think that'll be? Like, a lot of people are talking about rates and nothing will change in 2023. It's what I'm hearing most common right now. I think is like 2024 will be the year. What do you think about that? No, nobody has a crystal ball.
Yeah,
you know.
no, I don't think it matters. They've been around for a while, and it's a new asset class. Single family properties is a new asset class that's going to stick around. So I think that they're here to stay. I think they're going to eat up a lot. A lot of people are worried that we're going to be like Europe, where certain companies or families own all the real estate and everybody's a renter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of countries, but I don't think it'll go that far.
Well,
But
it would take
they're
a
gonna-
long time if it did,
I mean, they own like
Yeah.
0.5% of the properties
Right.
here. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that they're here. I think that if you understand what they're looking for, you can reverse engineer and make a bunch of money.
I agree with that.
And I don't think they'll ever like stop. I think they'll just slow it down
Yeah,
and be real picky.
they're going to be pickier. I think a lot of them, they ultimately, I mean, they're even building, what I think is interesting right now is I'm seeing a lot of like Fundrise and a lot of these big, whatever you want to call it, I guess hedge funds or crowdfunding or whatever.
Yep.
They're getting into a lot of the build to rent.
Oh, I know.
Single family. Build
I know.
Like a whole community, like 300 homes that they all look identical. It looks like a normal neighborhood, right? But it's one owner.
Yeah.
Detached.
What's Amazon's owner's name?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos. He has a new company.
Yeah.
Arrive.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's Arrive. You can Google that. I might be totally wrong. But it's crowdsourcing to buy partial interest in single family houses.
Wow. I had no idea. I'll have to look it up.
Bananas.
That
It's
is insane.
absolutely bananas. And he's not going to be the only one.
No, absolutely not.
Because they'll buy a property at $500,000, they'll sell it to everybody crowdsourcing at $700,000. You know what I'm saying?
do.
And then they get a slice of the returns for forever.
Yeah.